Welcome to Newsmakers. I'm your host, Nancy Lewis. Today we're going to be talking about the Kansas Public Employees Retirement System, KPERS, and we're here today at the Johnson County Community College. Thanks to them for letting us be here. We're with Kansas Senate Vice President Jeff King. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so Governor Brownback just announced a plan to cut the state's contribution this year, his idea, by $40 million as part of a plan to close a $280 million shortfall in the state budget. You were one of those people who was, you were one of the people who brought a little more fiscal responsibility to this pension system. So I'm curious what you think about this idea.
You know, I know we have hard times and there are a lot of tough decisions to make. I really hope that we keep our fiscal discipline and make our payments to KPERS like we're supposed to. You know, it's been since 1971 that the state has actually paid into the KPERS system what it's supposed to do. We're on path to make that commitment for the first time in 2017. And we've been good at keeping on that path over the last few years, but any step back, it really is a step backwards from fiscal discipline and responsibility for that fund.
Beyond this year, does it then worry you about what may happen next year and the years to follow?
When I started leading the effort for pension reform in 2011, Kansas was the second worst funded state in the nation with their pension system, behind only Illinois. And you know, we have made huge strides. We've gotten Moody's, Standard & Poor's, other national leaders have promoted the Kansas model for reforming the pension system. But part of the model is you have to stay the course. You don't fix a pension system in 2 or 3 years. It takes 20 or 30. But every step off that course is a step back towards the underfunded plans we had in the past. So I'm really hoping we make the effort to stay on the course and get our system back to fiscal health.
We're not talking about a pension that affects just a few people. This is what, like around 300,000 folks?
290,000 people either that are retirees or eligible for the pension system, basically 10% of the state. It's a huge system.
It's a huge system. So what are you hearing from them?
Exactly that. I mean, there are retirees that are worried about their own pensions. They shouldn't be. We're going to meet the obligations. We're going to pay the benefits that we've promised. But I hear from taxpayers as well that say, if we don't get our fiscal house in order now, if we don't correct for the mistakes of the last 40 years, we're going to be paying for them out of tax dollars in the future. Our schools will be paying for them. Our roads will be paying for them. We've made mistakes in the past. We can't repeat them again.
And it's really, you know, you hear so much about people talking about, you know, if we were to run this like a household, then we would just have to pay our bills. Well, this is one of those bills, right?
Exactly. I mean, if a mortgage on your house in tough times, you don't delay your payment of the mortgage. You may restructure the mortgage, you may refinance, but you always make your payments. And in KPERS, the state has not done that for decades. We made a promise to the people of the state of Kansas we would do it, and my job is to help make sure we keep that promise.
And there are other options, right? There are other ways of fixing the shortfall.
There are other ways of fixing the shortfall. There are other ways of looking at our unfunded liability. I mean, our unfunded liability is about $8 billion, and you don't pay that off overnight. You can take years and years to pay that off. Make a plan, stick to it, and there are ways that we can do that and still balance the budget.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And thank you for being here. We'll hope to see you next time on Newsmakers.